Guys, welcome to the Lion Connection. I'm your host, Alexander John, and this is the Lion Connection, and we have so much to cover. We have a lot of great information. I've been excited about having this episode 14. We're at episode 14 to share. Not only have we had contact because of the break of contact, and not only did we get images from multiple locations of ships, we also have, we'll be talking about Z from South Africa, and she's going to be a great asset to our team. So much to cover, so much to go over. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I know I was a little downtrodden on that last episode, but can everyone hear me okay? Just want to make sure that first. Everyone? Check. If we're good to go, then I think we should jump right into it. We're going to do some Q&A, questions and answers throughout. We're going to go through who is this Z and where did she come from and how did this happen. We're going to go into contact because we did receive contact, and that's what the show is mostly about, is about our experiences and our journey going forward with majority of the contact being the Lyrans and other races. And we'll also go through some of the videos of the sightings that we did see all on the same evening and many other things. So thank you for being here. All the people that are new, we've had a huge jump in influx. I don't pay or try to get people on other than organically, and those who resonate and want to be a part of the Lion Connection and hear what I receive, because to me it is historical, but this is only one aspect of a grand pie of many different slices of different people that do receive contact from many different races. The majority of my contact is Lyran, and I get in between and dark. So I get of the light, the dark, and in between, but majority is of the light. I come from the light. And audio is good, JD says. Awesome. Hey, what's going on, brother? VJ, what's going on to you, my most trusted person? VJ and Doug, my brother out there. Tara, awesome to see you live tonight. Moon Boots, he's already on there. Linda, oh, we got new people. Lauren, Jan, how you doing tonight? And Peter, what's going on? And Dad's on here too. Awesome, good job. So guys, let's go right into it. So I figured that this is how we'll do it. We'll break down the latest contact because it was June 22nd when we had last contact. It was 31 days exactly. July 22nd, from June 22nd to July 22nd, we received new contact, 5 messages, 1 image. Now we all know about Law 18, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a little partial of that image. I can't show you the city. I can't. It's even in contact. But I will show you part of it, kind of get an idea. We'll go into Z, and we'll go into Q&A, and we'll go into other things. So, from that being said, are we ready to go into... Actually, I'm going to go into June 22nd so we can refresh, especially for the new people. What was the prior communications prior to the gap of no contact to July 22nd? So that's what we'll do. And I'm going to start it out just as a refresher. So on June 22nd at 12:06 a.m., I did receive a message that did say, designed for having mixed them, the messengers. So I do receive messengers that give me messages. Return to confound them. Let us cast off, interrupt, And in the example of the destruction of many of the agents are not in the slow to the ascension, the humanoid period, then go up to 1,000,000 years. You are essential. Continue to work. So I did receive that message, and I asked, this is my question I asked back, continue to work on the show? Are there any new images you can share? And the response was, look up in the sky. Now that evening on June 22nd, I fell back asleep. I missed going outside directly. And then at 5 in the morning, I did go outside. And I did still see ships around the house. And they're on the Lyran connection so you can see for yourselves. At 5:06 a.m. I said, when? I think I see you, so I need to do another teaching for the people. Did you send a message June 18th that said, we are with you, thank you for your guidance? And then on June 23rd, of course, I had no response. I said, are you available to talk? I await your response. July 2nd, are you doing well? July 20th, where are you? I didn't hear anything. And that's when we had our episode 13, where I was kind of breaking down and I was kind of melting a little bit, saying, oh no, I'm not getting contact. What did I do wrong? Why is this happening? And if you remember on the last episode, we did go over the numbers. We are trending, we're actually 6 away from beating 2019's contact numbers of how many messages I've received. So in perspective, we've also had July as a lot of 0 months, meaning we have not received contact over the years since this started since 2013. There's been a lot of July messages where it's 0, 0, 0. So that kind of helped me in processing and getting through it. And then on July 22nd. So July 22nd, here we go. These are the new messages I've received. And an image. Now, we know Law 18 forbids me to showing the full image, but I will show you partially the image. And I did at the beginning of the intro of this episode 14, but I'm going to show you a little more. I just can't show you the city, and you'll see it in contact because they actually say it. So listen, July 22nd at 11:27 p.m. in the 11th hour, I received a message in Latin, and it translates to, the times they have destroyed the aforementioned debris we have already fought for it has been disclosed. A city, after having lost to the prince of the salvation of the council, he had been summoned, did not mention the lyre of the council, period. Greet the vast space, period. I know you are in the Milky Way, 14,000 light years, Platea, period. I received a gift of soil. And then there was an image. And I'm going to show you this image. And I'm not allowed by law to show you the city. But that is the horizon of a planet. There is either 2 moons or 2 planets. They're pretty bright, so I would think they're planets. And then I will show you the outskirts on this side, on the mountaintop of the city. And then I'll show you on this side, the mountaintop of the city. So that is the image minus the city. And I'll explain why. I said back, what is the name of this city? Where are you located in the galaxy? And can you tell me more about the gift of soil? Now remember, when I'm asking questions, there is actually a pressure cooker of time that is on me where I'm feeling I don't know when that window is going to close, because based on the season of where you're at, northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere, the time, the season, those windows and they close and open of communication. So I an hour. So I only have a certain amount of time. So immediately that's the first thing that comes to mind. I don't premeditate anything. I immediately ask first thing that comes to my mind. So the question was at 11:34 p.m., what is the name of the city? Where are you located in the galaxy? Can you tell me more about the gift of soil? The response was on July 22nd at 11:37 p.m. It came in as Latin, and it says, by now they must connect. Only the eye of the prince, a gift to forever remain, nameless, and the holy city of harm's way for thousands of years. Doors closed again. I said back, the doors closed of communication? Who must connect? Is the name of the city the holy city of harm's way? Because I don't know. That's the way they said it. What is your name and title? Because I want to know who I'm talking to. Thank you. I await your response. On July 22nd at 11:46 p.m., still within the 11th hour, they responded, by the way, learn to connect to, period, means to connect with yours, period. It is dangerous. Devices use the earth, period. So devices, cell phones, computers. Dangerous devices use the earth. The truth is the shift in Ningizida. Now remember, I had all that Ningizida stuff in the past. 11:48 p.m. I asked, what do I need to do to connect without the use of a device? And will meditation work, and at what times? The response was at 11:50 p.m. Brother, key to understand. So my brother, who is Commander Doug, who is also sent here. I was born in 77. He was born in 78. And we didn't meet each other until we were teenagers. He was sent to aid me on this time for what they say is the end of an age before a new age, the final battle of kings. I said, can I share this information with brother? And they responded, the last message was at 11:51 p.m. Goodbye. And it gave me the actual hybrid code. The hybrid code of dash double dot dash double dot dash. And I said, please don't leave. That is my hybrid code. Is it yours too? They have stated, the Lyrans, that my hybrid, because I was created thousands of years before my body, my hybrid code is dash double dot dash double dot dash. And every race out there in the universe, in the cosmos, and on the planet has their own specific genetic code. And that code is a sequence of dashes and dots. How that works beyond that, I'm not sure. Other than that, I have collectively notated in my journals the different dashes and dots of different races. That's where contact ends. And the image of the what I'll share here is definitely a star with 2 moons or 2 planets, and definitely a desert-like world on one side that we can definitely see. I can't show you the city, but I will say that it is 14,000 light years away. The place is called Platea. The doors were shut. Usually when they say doors are open or doors are shut, has to do with communication and connecting. Now, we all know through my contact that I am receiving it backwards. So I will tell you this. A lot of people receive downloads, or through meditation, they receive contact. Whether you believe it or not, or whether some are real or not, that's not for me to judge. But what contact is stated is that just like the beginning of contacts in the first couple years, I was supposed to enter my light codes so that I can have direct download contact meditation, which I never did, okay? Because number one, I didn't know what I was getting into. Number two, I am kind of stubborn in that way. So I started receiving. They will never go above and beyond what our current open technology is. So they started using my technology and overriding systems. And I have witnesses to see these technology overrides where I was receiving messages and images. What contact is clearly stating at this point is that I need to disassociate with the actual physical material communications through devices, because they are corrupt and can be overtaken by agencies, which we know that agents have given me disinformation or have tried to take over my lines. And I'm supposed to naturally, using my meditation and connecting and then getting downloads through that, and then scribing that information, which I have not done. I am learning how to do that appropriately, and that's where Z comes in. Z, I just recently posted onto the Lyran Connection, is from South Africa. She has for a long time, and she has the credentials. She's a Reiki master. She's a shaman. She's a starseed. She does receive contact. She can project herself to where she actually gets contact. She's going to help me and guide me, along with others, to be able to connect meditation-wise and spiritually to the ones that are trying to connect to me without the aid of a device. So those of you who believe or don't believe, I'm not here to try to prove or not prove. I am that stubborn where I have had to have physical overrides of physical hardware for me to show and express and share with the world as of March 20th, 2020, because I was told to. But now I'm venturing into mastering and learning this aspect of actually using meditation and connecting in a different way. And there's pros and cons with that, because to me, where you have a physical thing, it's more tangible, where you can prove like, hey, there it is. Like, I didn't do this. And there, I mean, I don't know, to where, and I'm working on that along with the Latin that I'm supposed to master. And Z actually gave me the full code of the Lyranese, which is that code I was telling you about, and I had an image of these different symbols, and she was able to help me with that. So Z is many hours ahead of us. She'll see this tomorrow, but she wanted to. What she liked a lot was that our show is really real and raw, that our people that are following the Lyran connection are really good people and had a lot of wisdom, informative, and she really wants to connect with all of you. So if you actually look on the Lyran connection page, you can actually go and see her site, which has been totally new, and her cosmic journeys totally new and revamped, so that way it's a fresh experience. And there's many other qualifications she has, but she's amazing. I've been talking to her outside of the episodes. We've been doing, and I'll be eventually, when I get approval from Z, I'll upload them to the Lyran Connection, and you can actually see our live video correspondence and different things. So it's pretty awesome. So at this point, I've been rambling a lot. So let me see where everyone is talking. Let's see. J, audio is good. Low rate. Plataea, like the Battle of Plataea, which is the land battle during the Second Persian invasion of Greece. I'm not familiar with that. I will research that, but Plataea has definitely been mentioned in contact over the years. I've even asked them over a year ago. I said, can you tell me why, what's at this Plataea and what your mission? Because they told me there was a mission going, and they told me no. So until recently, Diana is watching. Hey Diana, how's it going? Moon Boots. Hey, so that's where we're going with that. Z is going to be awesome because she has so much information about plant medicine, about being a shaman, about being a starseed and receiving contact from multiple races. She's in South Africa, and she's also indirectly connected to others who receive contact the way I actually receive contact. Because remember, all these episodes, all these years, I have not heard of it, or anyone who has received contact through binary communications or any kind of override. And she actually knows those people. So Gosha, Hector, Brian, all these people from around the world, I'm just starting to be friends with. And I'm supposed to meet 11 or 12 others, plus my brother and other guides and people who are guiding the way. So we can all put this together. It has to do with the Galactic Federation of Light. It has to do with the war going on. It has to do with a lot of different things. So, with that being said, Diana, hi. How's it going? Moonboot says, and how did they find you among 7 billion of people? Well, Debbie says, hello from Ohio. Lo said, hey, how's it going? The land looks like your picture too. Okay, so let me answer the question. Moonboot says, and how did they find you among 7 billions of people? I don't think they really found me. I believe. You mean Z and the others, or are you talking about the Lyrans? Because the Lyrans sent me here, so they know exactly where I've been and where what I've been doing, because they've been monitoring me my whole life, and it explains a lot of the interactions that I've had and weird experiences. But if you're talking about specifically to do with Z and the others, it's kind of like the King of Kings or whoever. It's fate. It's I'm supposed to meet. I have less than 10 years before I go back, so I am supposed to meet certain individuals who are also receiving contact, and their contacts are from like Taygeta and other regions that is not Lyran, that's for sure. But they're receiving it the same way. Angelic Hey, how's it going? Can't wait to hear from her too. Yeah, the Lyrans. Moon Boot says. Yeah, so the Lyrans, um, they did tell me that I will be meeting others who are having, and we're all going to be getting together, and then the council and all that. So yeah, I mean, it seems like it's happening. For whatever reason, I do trust the people that I'm speaking with. The amount of knowledge and information. Z's very excited. Now they're sleeping over there at this point because it's so late, but they're very excited to meet everyone in this chat and the people who do follow, because she has been monitoring. And I do have already recorded interactions with Z and the information that we have gone over. Actually multiple, I probably 5 or 6 different videos already where we've had, whether she sent me video messages or whether we've had interaction back to back of having a conversation about the information. She wants to go over all the things that I do have, because she has a lot of recorded over the years data that correlates with the Lyrans and many other races. And I know it's a lot of information because the amount of stuff that has gone on out there. In here, besides that, when you meet someone for the first time and they go over information that not only correlates with what you're saying, but they have added information that also correlates with many books that have been published, and many things that you haven't disclosed yet, like myself within contact, because we have over 8 years of contact, that it's like, wow, that this person has to be receiving contact. And not only that, this person is a shaman, she's a master Reiki, she's a guide, she's intuitive, she also receives contact, she's a starseed. So there's only so many coincidences you can get to where it's like, I mean, we're all just making this up. It just happens to be all the same. No, I mean, if you have years and years of documentation, it gets to a point where it's almost ridiculousness. So, and now on the news, what is it that they're like, oh, we found off-world craft that is not from this earth. I mean, this has been going on for so many decades, so many years, and it ties into ancient history, and it rewrites our whole history. I mean, I don't know. I'm not here to debate that part. Cheryl from North Carolina. Hey, what's going on? Marsha, what's going on? Hey, what's going on? Now, Marsha, I'm not putting her on the spot. Marsha has a lot of crop circle, and some of you may be interested in crop circles, some of you may not. But Marsha, she's really on the gold of knowing the most recent up-to-date what's being said on crop circles. I did say I was going to briefly bring it up into this episode. We will in the future be going over crop circles and different things because there's many races involved. That's my personal opinion. And there's a lot of deep messages. Some are fake. I'm just going to be put it, and some are very real. And it's a form of communication. It's a form of contact. So you receive contact through downloads and meditation of connecting. You can receive contact through means of technological, if they want to make contact with you through the devices. You can receive contact through the organic, physical out there. So in every way possible, and in your dreams, so every way possible, there is a form of contact being happen. It doesn't mean every single person receives contact, but and also sightings mentally, like the CE5. I'm not going to go into Dr. Greer and all this stuff because I have a opinion about all that stuff. But the concept is correct, where you can meditate, which is also prayer. It's like making a phone call. And you can actually receive and see and record and document contact. What people aren't realizing is the many forms and ways of contact is actually at a level where it is one way or another. You can, if you have eyes to ear and ears to hear, you can actually witness a connection. So there's a lot to talk about. I'm only talking about my way of how I receive contact. I am working on the meditative connection, which Contacts clearly wants me to do since the beginning. But it's a blessing in disguise, because now that I have all this physical, tangible contact that I have recorded, this next level, when I get to it, I will have a whole nother swath of information that I was originally supposed to be doing, but then I'll have both. So that's kind of cool. So with that being said, how are you guys doing? Woo! It has been a stressful month. We've had some losses this year in the personal family. Everyone's had their losses, but it's been hard. I've lost a stepmom, a sister, Julia's grandmother just recently. But all along, and everything to just stay positive. It's been a very crazy year. And we can all attest to that, wherever you are, wherever you live. Whatever information, whatever you've been doing, whatever, somehow, some way, 2020 has been a tough year. And the next 10 years is going to be that. And just, I don't want to be a negative person, but it's going to be in some way or some form. It's going to be hard. A lot of amazing disclosures are going to happen within this decade. A lot of amazing things are going to take place. And those who would think that they would never happen in their lifetime, or it may be fiction, are going to come to pass, to where they're going to say, oh, wow, I would have never thought. And that's where we are, because we're in this last bit of this age before the new age. And it is labeled as the final battle of kings. So, with that being said, I'm not trying to be negative or a Debbie Downer. I definitely wanted to share contact. So July 22nd, new contact, 5 messages, 1 image. I wish I can show you the city. I will describe the city to you, though. The city is a walled city. It reminds me of Jerusalem. There is a rainbow that goes above it. The city it looks like the walls are anywhere between 20 to 40 feet tall. It does look like it's an oval. It looks adobe-like style. There is patches of green, of vegetation within the city. It looks massively tall, parts of the city. And it perches on top of a mountaintop with clear blue skies. You did see that sun. I'll show it to you. You do see that sun or star, because it's not our sun. And then there are definitely moons or planets here. I don't know who they are. On the edge of it, before I don't want to break a law 18. It does appear to be mountainous and desert-like. And on the other side, it does appear to be the same. So, Lowe says, do we know if the solar flares will occur before October? And Moonboot says 2020 is just the trailer of 2021. Yeah, to say the least. So Lowe says, do we know if the solar flares will occur before October? From my understanding and from what I've been told, that it will be solar flashes, or there'll be instances within our star, which is called the sun. There will be where everyone will notice something going on with the sun. Is it before October? Is it this year? Is it from 3 years from now? I'm not sure. I would suspect, since I'm leaving within 10 years, that some of these things will come to pass and there will be a great solar flash. This is a great awakening. Everything is to be known. There are no truths that won't be hidden. Everything, all truths will be hidden, not hidden, but out in the open. So, are there things to come that we're not aware of, that just like they just started talking about? Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. Disclosure. There is a partial disclosure and a full disclosure movement. And I want to be totally honest with you guys. All right, here we go. I am for a full open disclosure movement. I'm going to tell you that right from the start. All should be known. There are ones who control a part of the community that want a controlled partial disclosure. And there are major names associated with that partial closed disclosure. There are names associated with a full open disclosure. This ties into our military. This ties into our secret space program. This ties into off-world races and entities that are at war for millions of years. I am a part of the light, and I am a part of a full open disclosure to the people. There are people who produce media, books, that go to conventions. They are controlled themselves and control a partial disclosure. And there are subtle and main threats that are given to people who do not play their ball game. At this point, I can't say names, but I can tell you in earlier episodes, I've mentioned certain people who I have personally had conversations with that are well known, not your local channel that's having conversations or local upcoming guests or any. I'm talking about the people who are at the helm of this movement, this community from UFOs to secret space program to entities to all kinds of stuff, that the partial disclosure movement that is controlled is definitely deep state. I can tell you that much. The names associated at this point, I'm not going to disclose, so I don't have to go through that ball of wax at this moment. But I will say, read everyone's stuff, and you'll start to see who is actually wanting a narrative of partial disclosure and who wants a full open disclosure, because we're way behind on this planet. of who and what's been going on out there. Questions. I know them and I know their game. Moon Boots, you rock. Low. A lot is coming out on TV. CNN is so right when you say CNN, that makes me nervous. But let me hit see more. CNN claiming that lady who knows cure for COVID is claiming alien DNA is helping. Stuff is getting scary. Laugh out loud. And Moon Boot says, and they're milking the cows. Just saying. Yeah, so there is definitely... This planet has been controlled for thousands of years, whether you know it or not, by dark... It's Luciferian, satanic, reptilian forces. I mean, that's where it goes. That's who these people worship, like Moloch and Baal and human trafficking and human sacrifice, child sacrifice. This is who's been controlling this world through the reptilians, from Draco and Orion, and you can call it whatever you want or try to... You know, it's funny, there's some people that actually have shows and podcasts that talk about like Orion and like all this stuff, but it is actually linked to who the, let's say the Black Hats worship and practice and do. This all goes back to World War II and beyond. So, that being said, the more you say, the worse the connection on your broadcast. You're cutting out. I'm sure I will. And I'm sure somehow magically, like it has in the past, my broadcast will be cut off. Here's the good news, those who are listening. The Lyrans and many other allied races, as I do a broadcast, they are aware and they are watching. They are listening. And they are here to assist. There are dark forces at play that are watching, and my ear just started ringing. They are watching, and they're here to insert disinformation and try to end a broadcast. This has been going on for a long, long time. This world has been battled over for a long, long, long time. It just so happens that this time, in this era, on this timeline, there's a chance for the light to prevail. And the dark side, who invest in a lot of things that I just are so disgusting that I don't even want to mention them on the air, and you can research and know for yourself. It's been going on for a long time, for thousands of years. All the missing people, look up David Pallades with 411 missing cases in national parks. Look at about all the missing children and on milk cartons and things of that nature. A lot of people think that it's a huge industry on the planet, which it is, of human trafficking, slaves, and children. But a lot of people go off-world to the people who control this world that worship dark alien entities and other worlds where these humans are taken off as slave labor in many different factions and ways that they're used for those what is needed. The amount of people that go missing is beyond astronomical. This is beyond FBI. This is beyond... It is very real. And someone once said, if you knew everything that was going on, you wouldn't want to leave your house. Someone very important said that. Because the amount of things that are going on out there, you're living in the past. You're 9 to 5 and going to the store and thinking that this is the hottest technology, and you're living in the past. You're not even in the future. of the breakaway civilization that has been going on hidden behind the scenes. Well, that sounds like conspiracy theory. No, it's fact. You're only allowed to know or have the goods that are hand-me-downs or old technology. Otherwise, we wouldn't be on oil. We wouldn't have gasoline. We'd have free energy, 0-point energy. We'd be using the electromagnetic field. There'd be a lot of things, but that does not make money for the big ones who control this planet. And that's what it boils down to. Because they have a plan, and the Georgia Guidestones, everything is crazy. This guy's nuts. Well, I mean, the stuff is right in the open in your face if you have eyes to see. It's right there for you to read for yourself. Besides all the whistleblower testimony of all the different people coming from all the different agencies and all the different companies that tell you, hey, listen, this is what I saw. Or they wind up suicided. I mean, you can live in your bubble, but that bubble's going to eventually break because it's not a part of the plan of what is going to be in the near future. So let me catch up here. The more you say the word, they want to keep everyone confused. Of course, they want to keep everyone divided. Why do you think all these different things are going on? They want you, when you're divided, they can control you. Desperate people do desperate things, VJ says, and can be very dangerous. In this world, stay safe and be careful, everyone. And then Lauren says, like the Rothschilds. Well, let's just say that there are a lot of wars where there are places that don't have the international banking community. And then all of a sudden those international banking communities pop up. Everyone has their beliefs and what they believe in. But it's not about what I believe, it's what they believe. So, yes, is there a organized, well-funded machine that globally works together and worships the same deities and different things and have contact with off-world civilizations? Yes. And there is also the opposite. It just so happens the opposite has a minority in the aspect of the Galactic Federation of Light, who works together with many races out there to purge the darkness out of this planet so that they can go ahead and regain the control back to the people. This has been going on for a long time, but this hasn't happened for a very long time to where it is technologically at the point that we're at now, and you're going to see a lot more things that you would have thought as fantastical or like this is not real. What you've been subjected to throughout your majority of your life has been not real. It's been altered and controlled. Like NASA, for example. NASA is a front. It's a show. You're watching a movie. Rockets. We've been doing rockets since the end of World War II. They've been doing in SAPs and USAPs. I mean, they've been doing black projects. They've been working with anti-gravitics and electrical anti-gravitics, anti-grav since the end of World War II, but they're not going to share that yet. It seems like it might come out, especially with the Navy. You're living in the past. They have the cures and technology. They've been working with off-world. Our government has been having, like I have contact, they've been having contact for decades and decades and decades and decades. But certain races, a lot of times those races aren't for the best of humanity, and the ones that did make contact with our government and many other governments shunned them, because even though it was the right thing to do and it wasn't the easy way to get what they wanted at the time. And it's pretty sad. So read Dr. Salas' books through the Secret Space Program. There's like 6 or 7 books. He's doing one on Russia next. You'll get a lot of information and disclosed documents through there if you want it, if you're interested. We have been lied to for 60 plus years. Of course we have. At the end of World War II, it was a race between Russia and the United States to get the center of Berlin. But years before that, before the fall of Germany, they were already going to Argentina and Antarctica. And in the Germans, how they possessed, there was multiple ways how they possessed their wonder weapons and their wonder technologies. They were working with the Thule Society, which became the Vril Society, who were receiving contact off-world from the Aldebaran system. The SS took it over, and eventually Hitler banned all secret societies, and that's what they were. They were secret societies, and confiscated and started building some of those. That's why Admiral Byrd had incidences when they went on down to South America and Antarctica. It's why there was a flyover, the Battle of Los Angeles. There was a flyover of Washington, D.C. in the 50s. All that stuff was the Germans flexing their might before they created the LOC, which is the Lunar Operations Command on the moon, and eventually to Mars. There are 3 cities on Mars, and one of them is called New Berlin. What we're dealing with is the Fourth Reich in the world right now, but it's not with uniformed agencies and flags. It's covert. What you thinking, what you know. I mean, think about it. How many German SS scientists and officers came to the United States and Russia and started to work within the Pentagon, NASA, White Sands, New Mexico, bases in command. You're talking about the industrial military complex working with Nazis, and they brought their ideologies over of a master race and their contacts with off-world races and technologies. I'm not making this up. I mean, it's all documented. Yeah, so read Dr. Salas 6. I mean, if you just don't, I mean, I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books. I read everybody. I don't care who you are, where you've been, whatever. I'm still reading. Like right now, I usually read about like 3 books at the same time. A one world order. Yeah, that's what they want eventually. Because that's what a lot of planets out there and races, they have a one world, because it's a certain race and they have an ideology, and they're either of the light or of the darkness, the Christos or Antichristos. This is per contact. They call it Christos or Antichristos. Earth is different because we're seeded by so many different races. You can't hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me, Joseph? Can you hear me now? Hey, but let's do a timeout real quick. Who can hear me? If anyone can hear me, say check or say hi, or I can hear you. Can anyone hear me? Man, I hope they didn't cut me. Video is starting to lag here. Anyone else? I keep hearing about blood wars based on blood types. I hear you now, loud and clear. All right, awesome. And that's what will happen when I speak about the truth. And some people say, no, that's because you need this other platform, or you need to do this or that. No. There are certain keywords and certain things. Because if you think that you living in the now, their technology of how they monitor us, and they know who is what and who's... They'll start shutting it down. They will. I've done this so long and so much that, I mean, they know I received contact. I have proof of intercepted terrestrial agents on the earth so this is not a surprise. So what I was saying is, if you read Dr. Salas' books, he's got 6 or maybe even 7 of the secret space program. This is before Trump. This is before them saying, them announcing that is, I don't know, 50 years shy of where they were. The Navy were the first to put submarines using anti-grav into space, since they were already compartmentalized, as in pressurized, to be able to withstand the forces out into, and they created solar warden, and they started creating fleets. This goes way back. You're just trying to play catch up of how far and how long things have been going on. You're the last to know. Yeah, they shut me down 3 times in one night. Yeah, I've been shut down many times. I am actually surprised that I'm still here today. But you know why I think I'm still here today and I'm telling the truth, and all the haters or anybody out there who doesn't believe, is because me telling and me receiving what I receive, you don't break the contact when it's coming in. If you're an intelligence or you're a terrestrial agent and it's continuous continuity of contact and it's flowing, you don't eliminate the source if it's free flowing and it's continuous, so you can get your own intelligence, so you can get your own information based upon what is continuously coming in. Now, what I'm afraid of is one day I dry up and they go, okay, now's the time to go ahead and eliminate this fool because he hasn't received anything that's useful for us. But yes, I do receive contact since 2013. It's been continuous. Sometimes there's a month or 2 of a gap where I don't get that information. I don't get contact. I get a little worried. I'm up to 31 races of different contacts of the dark, the in-between, and of the light. At this point, I'm going to be working with Z to work on my my meditation, working on connection, the shaman work of the things that I lack, so I can go and hone in the day that we don't have devices and things of that nature, that I am able to connect. Whereas there are a lot of people out there who connect now already that way and have not received through the physical. I am so skeptical in the past where I've had to get the physical, and now I have to work. Just like everything in my life, I've had to go backwards. So now I'm going to be, I may take a trip to South Africa. I may go, and that's a lot of Anunnaki territory. That's some of my first contacts were Anunnaki. I may have to go in that territory to actually hone in and to master the connection of having that spiritual connection to where I have these so downloads, what they call, or these different, which I have not, and learn to master. Dreams are important because that's another time of where you can astro and see and observe different things, which I have not done. And if it has been done, it has been done accidentally and not. I compile data and compile that. So I'm a physical type guy, and I have to rework to get to that level of, okay, I got to try this, because that's what contact wants me to do. Some of the questions I have on here are, I'm sorry, brother, I missed the start. I was in traffic. Have you had any contact recently since we spoke? Joseph, yes. I went over that in the beginning. Basically, summing it up, they sent me an image of a planet, and it's Platea, 14,000 light years away. There's a city perched on a mountain with a rainbow. The doors have closed at this moment, and Platea has been mentioned a few times over the past few years. And also that I need to not rely so much on a physical device and start learning to connect with my spiritual self, so I can have downloads and other things. Pretty much to wrap that up, if I can answer that for you. How do you receive pictures? I do receive the images based on the encrypted lines that I receive through the technology. They're not in my head, so and then I double check to make sure that they're not false information or agents that are, so they're original images. The images are for my eyes only. I just stated in contact, the prince can only see these gifts. But I do show part of the image, but not the actual meat and potatoes of the image, so I'm not breaking law 18, if that makes any sense. I know you translate words, but pics, yeah, so pictures are, they say a picture is 1,000 words, right? Or is what, from what I did talk with Z, and she's one of my advisors, along with a few other people who I will not name that are also my advisors as we go along through this journey. And I will say that there is a place called Shambhala. I'm not saying that is Shambhala. I'm not saying that it is. But Z did mention Shambhala through some of the text that she was describing to me, and especially what the image described of what it looked like. I'm not saying that it is or isn't. I do know that contact states that it is a holy city, and right now the doors have closed once again. But Z she gets contact from. She's talked with the Lyrans. She's talked with many different races. And she does not rely on technology. She has a way to, and she's showing me how to, what I'm supposed to be doing is what like contact wants me to be doing, to immediately connect. And to have these guides, it seems like a lot of my guides are winding up to be older females. Females naturally, based on biblical texts and other texts, females happen to have natural wisdom and sight, so they unbiased contacting and telling, as long as it's true and pure, they have the best insight for these type of things. So I actually am listening to some of my advisors, and I'm working on trying to get that natural connection that is like, hey, I didn't do this. I received this. This is what I have. Where I have these, so I can start getting these downloads and getting more information. But I'm a little hard-headed because I'm a male. And I'm tangible. I need things. So let me go on here. I can't watch because it wants me to download Facebook application with bad reviews. Sorry, Margaret. I seem to be able to watch bad reviews. I seem to be able to watch once the session is over, though. I've never heard of that, and bad reviews, who knows? I do have a few trolls out there, so who knows? But I'm sorry that you're having trouble, Margaret, to be able to watch. But once it's done, it's done. John keeps saying, the show keeps freezing. The show is probably freezing. The show is freezing because I'm speaking the truth. You see, this is an information war. This is a war that's eventually going to come down to the surface. This is a war that's been going on in the heavens, which is in space, for millions of years. This war will be witnessed by all, and some will go to their knees. Some will think it's whatever they believe in, and everything that everyone has been talking about, they're going to somehow resonate to this and ask for forgiveness, because it is going to be beyond what they can comprehend at the time. I'm forewarning all to know that there are light and dark forces, and eventually it will be seen. Now there is a deception. There is this Project Bluebeam and some of this dark deep state control. They have that. They want to do that, but there is real races, dark and light, and the war will come upon the surface where you will hide and beg and bow and go onto your knees and ask for forgiveness or whatever you might go across your mind. But when it gets to that point, it's already too late. So the time is to be mindfulness, be of a good heart, be loving, be a good person, do the right thing. That's what I teach my children. Be a good person, do the right thing, be a good person. That's all you have to do in life. And know that there is a King of Kings. Know that there is wars, and dark and light forces. And you have a choice. Being on Earth, you have free will. Some planets don't have free will. You have free will on the planet. And we're so used to entertainment and used to being entertained that it's easy to say, I don't believe that. I don't care. It's whatever. It doesn't affect me. I don't care. Until it does. Until something comes to where you will have no other choice but to immediately you will fall to your knees. It will happen. And it is coming. The war. It is coming. Doug says, she's talking about apps that pop up over advertisements, I think. I don't know. Everyone has a different, computer or thing or whatever. Got some strange sounds coming through speakers. Is that on your end? I have no strange sounds currently. Nothing on my end. Every sound. Yeah, so I have not. Let me check my thing and see if I've received contact, because we've had received contact while we were alive on the show before. I will check right now. Nope, I have not received any contact. So I would imagine I've hit quite a few keywords that there's no such thing as deep state. There's no such thing as any kind of hidden anything. Yeah, I've probably hit enough keywords to where things are Nah, that's just because of Facebook and the platform, and that's just because you need to have this platform. I've heard people tell me all kinds of stuff. No, it's because there are paid people who actually have picked a side to be a part of a system to control and direct information. And people who speak out, things happen. They're communicating with you. Volume low. Is the volume low? Yeah, so I'm having, obviously, I've said enough to where things are happening, things are being interrupted, and I apologize. But here's the good news. Here's the good news. Check it out. Episode 14. What does it say? Shadow ban. Yeah, I'm sure it's coming. I'm not allowed to speak the truth. There is light and dark forces out above and around the cosmos and the universe. They have been at war for millions of years. It is settling and coming closer to the surface of the planet. Many of your governments and agencies either have picked a side or have been fighting internally and secretly between each other. There is a breakaway civilization. Nazis of the Fourth Reich are real. They are littered across our solar system. There are secret space programs on both sides that have been around for over 50 years, and they've been battling each other and controlling the sector. The moon has Lunar Operations Command. There are multiple entities on the moon. There have been, and there is, multiple agencies at war with each other, white hats and black hats fighting internally, inside, on top of, and above the earth. This is becoming to a point of where it is now, at a point where it is about to be exposed into the mainstream, where everyone knows that there has been something going on. This has been going on a long time, since before World War II. And if you're just catching on, Dr. Salas' books, William Tompkins, Selected by Extraterrestrials, Volume 1 and 2, go research all those books, read all those books, and many others. There is an AI intelligence of alien and natural within the earth created combined forces that are trying to manipulate and take over all commerce and everything on the planet. This is real. This isn't fairy tale. Everything that you watched when you were younger that was sci-fi is preemptive programming before they do it and before they actually implement it. It is part of the law of what they worship. These ones that worship the dark side and Lucifer and Moloch and Baal and all that, part of their programming is they actually have to predictive program. They have to actually disclose as a joke or in a skit what they're going to do prior to them doing it. So when they do it, it has become normalcy. I keep hearing we are definitely going to win the war. Hopefully. They can't hide it any longer. It's getting bigger than what they can control, VJ says. Lauren says, I hope the next episode is very soon. My anxiety has been high to learn the truth. I've been dreaming of tons of natural disasters, and my dreams have came true since childhood. So check this out. We have a hurricane. A hurricane is on the way, right? And guess where it's heading? Wilmington, North Carolina, right where I'm at. And you want to know what the name of the hurricane is? Do you guys know what the name of the hurricane is? The hurricane's name is Salas. And you know what Salas means? It's Spanish origin, and it means God is my salvation. You think all this is... Everyone thinks like everything's like coincidence. Oh, that's just coincidence. That doesn't mean anything. That's just... Go look at all your movies and names and start researching what words mean, and you're going to be like, how many coincidences does it take before it becomes impossible? How many coincidences does it take before it's impossible? Next is Jan. Jan says, I kept getting kicked off. Same thing happened last time. Sorry. Not sure what is going on. Don't normally have an issue. Don't normally have any issues. Yeah, because besides contact, I specifically went into a lot of names. And when you start talking about from deep state to this, to that, when you start naming things in the Fourth Reich, all this stuff, and then all of a sudden it becomes where lines will get dropped or things will happen. It's control. If you don't think, we know based upon 2 different contact messages that the Lions are watching. They see and hear everything I do. They're watching. If you don't think that all these other agencies are watching, and if they have a way to break communications, they're going to do it. Oh no, that's just coincidence. This guy's just talking about crazy stuff, and they're just no. It's just bad. It's because the internet's bad. No, it's not. It's because I'm speaking the truth. It's been confirmed through our data for the last 8 years, the amount of different terrestrial, non-terrestrial interactions, what is real and what is not. So that is why there is breakage, because I'm speaking the truth. I'm not making anything up. My connection now is messing up. Seeing on my end, it's not. This is deliberate. Joe says, I keep getting kicked off too. I thought it was my phone. See? So I'm sure tonight I still show that I have some people watching. I'm sure I'll have some kind of retaliatory response to the amount that I've spoken. But I've spoken a lot. Guys, we've gone through contact. We have gone through episode 14 to do with from June 22nd to July 22nd contact. I have showed you it's all good here. Yeah, that is. I have shown you wow, it's not even showing that. Is that crazy? Wow, it's not even showing. So I have shown you the image. Batteries will start draining. Yeah, that's another thing that happens. Batteries all start draining out of nowhere. We've gone over contact. We've gone over June 22nd. July 22nd was the last contact. We've gone over the image. We know that I need to start getting away from more of the device and start honing in. Z, guys, like and share and check out Z's page. She's the real deal. She's also the connection to other contactees, which is very rare because I have not met any other ones besides me and my brother Doug who receive contact the way we have. They are on the other side of the world, Poland and other places. Check out her stuff. She is an amazing advisor. I will start sharing some of the videos and interactions we have on the show. I also will be, eventually she will come on the show to reveal herself. She's a great woman. She's a smart, intellectual, she knows her stuff. And she can help guide us. It's going to be a team collective. With the amount of contact that I have received, it does seem that it is set up to where it is not just on me, as they say I'm a prince from Lyra and all this stuff. It's going to be the commander. It's going to be advisors and ministers and different people. And we're all going to come together, and it's all going to be here. And eventually this will continue to keep growing. We've already gone over 400. And I think we're at 420 something now in the last 2 days. We're going to continue to grow and share what we receive. And we're going to be mindful and stay in the light, because the darkness is all out there and all around, especially in these times. I'm not trying to... it's terrible to see all this people's devices getting shut down and all. It means we're over the target. We're bombs away. We're bombs away. We're over the target. They're trying to shut us down. And that's how you know. Because if you weren't a threat, if you weren't speaking the truth, why would you even mess with it? You wouldn't even be bothered. I wouldn't even be on a radar. We're bombs away. We're over the target. And they don't like it. Bombs away. But guess what? We're coming in forces. And we're growing in numbers. And even if you shut it all down, even if you shut all the communications down, we're going to get to a point of awareness that everyone's going to know who's who, right? Just from interacting with people. You're going to know. And you're not going to be afraid to talk about it. Because there are many people receiving contact. And from different races and different systems. Light and dark. But we're going to have to sort it out. So, guys, thanks. I wish we could just keep going on and on and on. I'm really happy that we received contact. I'm happy that we have big hitters like Gosha and others that are going to, and Hector and all them. Eventually, you'll be introduced to them. You're going to be first introduced to Z and the amount of powerful things that she can share and teach you all, along with my contact and Commander Doug with his experiences and also contact and support, and other select individuals who've been following since the beginning, who have been supporting all along behind the scenes. And when they're comfortable to come out, they will. This is growing, expanding, and we're going to stay in the light and stay positive, and we're going to do the right thing and be good people. And I like I said, just keep looking up. Episode 15, we'll go deeper into Z and all that information. We'll go into we'll see if we have contact by then, and we'll also I'll let you know the aftermath of this hurricane that's heading right at me. And we'll just take it from there. If you guys have any final questions, I'll take them. Otherwise, I'll bounce out of here. Lauren says, very happy. I'm glad you're finding your colleagues. Good people. Yes, sir. Yeah, I am very happy and excited. I have I'm stretched thin throughout the day and even the night, because people are, depending on their location globally, there are different times where I have to interact and be a part of these episodes outside of this episode to communicate and go on. And Z will be watching this, and it's actually a few hours from now that she'll be getting up from her location in South Africa and then going over all this information that I've gone on here. Thank you, Shaza says. Thank you, guys. I missed a lot, but I'll catch on the replay. Joe says, yeah, man, I'm here for you guys. I get a ton of private messages, and it's increased dramatically. I get a ton of private messages. Do not feel that you can't message me or ask me a question or give me information. I am totally here for you. I know Marsha's going to be contributing with crop circles. I know Z is going to be contributing on the spiritual aspect side, and there are others who are willing to contribute and be a part of, but they're not at that level yet to do that at this moment, and I respect that, so they'll be doing that. Everyone take care and stay safe. That's what I agree with. And Melaine says, thanks for being tuned in and sharing with us. See, it's real people like you guys that continue to drive me forward. Replying to you too. Yeah, I am totally... I wish I could do it every day, but I don't want to be boring and repeating myself. So I wait till there's contact. I share with you guys. And then I'm always reading 3 to 4 different books at the same time. Right now I'm investigating Carrie Cassidy and Project Camelot in her recent book, Adamski and his older book, and then some of David Wilcox's latest publications. So I'm trying to stay in the now, in the larger community and what's going on, especially with the partial and full disclosure movement, and then also aware of what communications I receive on my end. Tara says, thanks for all you do and for everything you share. Tara, you're one of my big hitters out there. You, VJ, Doug, a lot of you guys. I appreciate you guys supporting and being a part of the channel. And book club. Yeah, a book club. What are you thinking about that, Tara? A book club as in sharing... I mean, I have so many books. Well, book club is we share what, books, or a book club as in like, what are you thinking? Because I'm doing literally like 3 or 4 different books at the same time, continuously throughout the year. So there's so many books. I can't wait to read your book. Well, I have enough to do at least 3 books. I haven't published yet. One day I will publish. But I'm just trying to stay away from the monetary aspect of everything right now. I'm just trying to share openly and continue, and then eventually I'll probably publish just to have it on record for people to go through and things of that nature. But it's that read together and discuss. Yeah, I'm all up for that because I love books. I mean, I love books. I have so many. My books, their books, everyone's books. A lot of good stuff out there. Excuse me, a lot of disinformation, a lot of partial disclosure, a lot of full disclosure. Like when we talked about, there are certain individuals who push for a controlled partial disclosure, and there are ones who want a full disclosure. Dr. Salas, full disclosure, I can say that. William Tompkins, bless his soul, he's passed away. It's full disclosure. There are a lot. There are some that are for a controlled, and they have masters, and they have a partial and what sucks is some of these guys who have partial disclosure, that have these movements and have these books out, they make it pretend like they're going to give you full disclosure, and they have such a large following based upon their names, but they're really a controlled partial disclosure. It's such a friggin' it's such a trap, and it sucks. And I read everybody's work, so I read them all, and I know what they're doing. And they'll come up from behind the stage and they'll tell someone and whisper them with the threat because above has told them to. And Carrie Cassidy was talking a lot about that in her recent. I mean, it's pretty sad. Guys, full disclosure, we all deserve to know all the truths and all the information so we can become an interplanetary civilization to work with other light force civilizations. And that's what it's about. Once again, milking the cow. Moon Boots, you're awesome. Guys, this has been episode 14. Episode 15 shortly. Peace be with you all. Love and light. And let's all stay within there and just support each other. And I appreciate you guys staying with me this whole time, even with the few trolls that we've had out there. It doesn't matter. We're going to push forward, march forward, put the armor on, and continue to share what we receive. And that's what the fundamental thing about this channel is all about, is sharing what the Lyrans have taught us, what they have said, and we will continue to march forward. And there will be nothing to stop us. Nothing can stop what is coming. Nothing. And until episode 15, this has been Alexander John Tulloch speaking to you through the Lyran Connection. Peace be with you. Love and light. Stay positive. There are dark days ahead, but together we can shelter through it, and we will prevail, and we will expand and grow. Have a good night.